face, them a smile up. Behind your back of money, them a pile up.
Becoming a political player, long seen by some, perhaps cynically, as a vehicle to self-advancement, if not self-enrichment. But the job not especially well paid, until now. Politicians treating themselves to a huge pay hike, 230% in some instances. Finance Minister Nigel Clark, the bringer of glad tidings to colleagues, opponents, and others across the spectrum of representational politics this week.
We have to be able to attract new blood into the leadership levels of the public sector.
Among the happy few, the Prime Minister, who now gets to take home $25.3 million, set to jump to well over $28 million next year, up from a measly $9.1 million. And the Minister himself, who now pockets over $21.7 million, with a picture in 2024 looking even brighter at almost $24.6 million. Clark's announcement a gift to a tired-looking opposition, but the PNP's Julian Robinson offering a meek response.
Madam Speaker, the opposition takes no issue with what the minister has announced.
It wasn't what some of Robinson's own party members wanted to hear. Doesn't that make the PNP look equally self-serving and clueless?
I would say no, because the second sentence was that he felt that equity was also lacking at the same speech.
But Julian Robinson is a politician. He knows what is going to stick in the mind. The opposition takes no issue.
That will stick in the mind of the people, and that will also reduce our
Bad move,
communication.
he would regret that.
I think the party would regret that was said.
The opposition backtracking the next day. Takes no issue, switch to strongly objects. But too late not to take some of the heat for what was the ruling JLP's call.
We have the highest paid Prime Minister, we don't have the highest paid teachers, so there's no equity. We also have a Prime Minister that moved from 9 to 28, and we have teachers that move from 2 to 2.6. Again, there's no equity. And we have a situation where we can't afford to pay some, but we can greatly afford to pay others. So that is not reasonable, and that's unfair.
Nigel Clark says the pay has to go up to attract and retain better qualified politicians.
So I guess he doesn't want better qualified teachers or better qualified police persons. What is happening now is that we're having 17% passes in mathematics. We want better qualified math teachers. Maybe they should get 18 million. At the end of the day, what he's saying is untruthful, unfair, and unjust.
And unwelcome on social media and in the street.
Can't say how teachers could be struggling so much. Police, everybody has struggled, and yet the politicians who make the rule are able to just flaunt the rule and do whatever they want. To me, that's foolishness, man. They don't care about our Jamaican society at all. They really don't care. No politician in Jamaica deserves any increase. None. Not even $1,000, let alone 200%. Oh, Virgin. The whole Jamaica, I know after 3 should have black with people protesting.
We only go on the internet, we make noise for 5 minutes and then it stop, circulate, and I just saw we just take it. And we control how them deal with it, you know. So if the society want to hug it up, well, them hug it up.
Me Australia right now, me not go wrong, you know, but them not help me. Me not vote back, so me not care who wants to me not vote back, because me not get any help, and me not get any justice.
So them wicked, it cannot go so. Taxpayers are work hard, teacher work, everybody work hard, it can't go so. Tell people, tell nurse, you know. And so we are still a walk.
You're in power, but I'm not seeing what you're doing to deserve so much more. Why not use the money to do something else worthwhile for the country or for the taxpayers, persons that are paying their taxes and are doing justice for the country? The hospital needs so much resources, and it's not showing that they're getting any. 2 nurses for 30-odd patients, that's crazy on a night shift.
In the lead up to the fat pay hike, polls with gloomy findings for both parties. So why no?
It says that they don't believe that the opposition is sufficiently viable for them to be in a competition. So they don't think they're at risk of losing. So because they don't think they will lose, they don't care what people think. And that is how people should hold politicians accountable.
Do they deserve it? And will they get away with it? Or will this too just blow over? As for Damian Crawford, sounds like he's also looking to his own political fortunes. You're throwing your hat in the ring.
Whenever the ring is open, I'll throw my hat in the ring, yes.
I think if a politician can really look in our eyes now and tell us that they care. It's rubbish. It's rubbish.